Warning: viewer discretion is advised.
This is really horrible and crazy to see because these animals deserve way better than this. This is absolutely the worst pet store that I have seen, and I just could not believe the condition of it. Welcome to Serenity Belle Outdoors. This video is a little bit different. When I travel, I enjoy looking at the different local pet stores in the cities, but this time I was in for a shock. Upon entering this pet store, it looked like a warehouse, so I had to make sure that it was open, and it was. You can see that the things are just carelessly scattered around the store in an unorganized manner. It was hard to at first find out where all the animals were, but I figured out I had to go through a whole labyrinth of aisles, kind of like a maze, to find the pets. But first, I'll let you take a look at how all these aisles were organized. They had the aquariums, the stuff to go into the aquariums, also terrariums, filters, and everything just looks like it needs a thorough cleaning. In addition, a lot of things should just be thrown out. Now I'm coming up onto the tanks and I'm trying to check to see if I see anything in them. So far, those two were empty, this one as well. But soon I spotted a snake and found where the reptiles were, among other things. It's all very disorganized, but I was trying to go ahead and shine the cameras in so I can see what is in there. For this one, I saw some snakes, and the enclosures are really small, so I was feeling really bad for them. There were also some geckos, and this snake right here looks like it just had a shed. It doesn't have a hide, and it is really looking malnourished and not healthy at all. Then we see the leopard gecko, and this one, he's actually looks like he's nicely fed, but he can't fit into the hide that's in there for him. There is another leopard gecko right here who doesn't have a hide at all. The next leopard gecko, it does have a hide. The enclosure is still really small. And here are two more snakes to take a look at. I then went ahead and moved over to the area where they had the fish and water creatures. And one thing that I must point out is there was a really strong fishy, mildewy smell all throughout the pet store. And it's really because all of these tanks needed a good cleaning. You can take a look to see how they need to be filtered out. Some of the fish seem to be struggling, and it was a lot of murky water in the tanks. Take a look as I am walking around so you can see exactly what I am talking about. I really felt bad for this fish. You can barely see into the aquarium to make out what type of fish it is. I also noticed a lot of water on the floor, and I looked up to see the leaking pipe. And I figured that also contributed to the mildewy, moldy smell in this pet shop. I just could not believe the conditions of the tanks in this pet shop. It really looks like some of them have been abandoned, while others look like they have a little more care. But overall, this place gives more of an abandoned feeling than anything else. Let's have a look around some more. This tank has a not for sale sign on it, but really, I don't think anything in here should be for sale until it gets cleaned up. I went to take a look at the turtle enclosure, And it was another thing that was very dusty, murky, stinky, and there was a film of filth over the top layer of the water. I then noticed that there was a bottom dweller fish in the enclosure with the turtles. And when I got a closer look, it just seemed sad and lethargic and definitely needed a bigger space. It just seemed really lonely and depressed. And while I was watching these turtles, I looked up and I noticed that there was another enclosure of turtles, which was much clearer. It was just really crowded instead, but at least the water was clear. This tank right here was just a murky yellow, as you can see from the distance. I tried to give a full view of the pet shop. From the outside, it does look abandoned, but you can tell that there's some tanks that are worked on and there's some that aren't. It was really weird. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but I can show you a little bit more of the pet shop. Let's take a look. The fish over in this area were all singled out in separate tanks. I don't know if they were in some type of quarantine, but they did not seem to be enjoying themselves at all in the dirty tanks. It was just a mess. And some of these fish are so adorable looking, like this one. I just wish they were taken care of better. This pet shop would honestly have potential if they just went in and did a deep cleaning and got bigger enclosures, especially for the reptiles. There is a lot of space here and a lot that can be done if they decide to take the reins and improve it. I really hope they do. Well, thanks for watching Serenity Belle Outdoors today. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and give tips on how this pet store can improve. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for your time. It is much appreciated.